What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. What you guys are looking at is the preliminary Blackwing deck that I've been tinkering around with at the early stages of this format. Now, I don't do a lot of in real life deck profiles, but I do feel like at the beginning stages of the format are the best times to show these decks off. You don't have clear established decks, and once you get towards the mid and later parts of a format, you know, decks are established, you know it's tier 1, and you can have a pretty decent deck and it can be completely rendered mediocre because of, you know, certain problem matchups, and you know, it just makes a lot of these lower tier decks just a lot less interesting to watch. Blackwings is a deck that's always been near and dear to my heart because it was the first deck that I ever topped regionals with at Charlotte about 3 years ago when I started my channel. So, yeah, I feel like Blackwings they're going to be undervalued in this format. I did say in the comment section of a video that I previously made, I think that Blackwings right this second are better than windups. If you guys want me to talk about that, just, you know, leave it in the comment section below. That's not going to be in this video, that opinion. But, you know, I feel like Blackwing's ability to effectively run things like skill drain, to not have to rely on their effects at all because they now have 3 Kalutes. You know, they can basically just get big beaters on the field and protect those and just kind of win a beatdown game, much like Fire Fist do. I think that Blackwings have a ton of, you know, play disrupting cards. Icarus Attack. Icarus Attack has always been a phenomenal card. You know, Kalute can basically just mess up your opponent's entire battle phase when you get a monster that's like 3,200 and they can't run it over. So, you know, I feel like Blackwings are definitely a decent deck. So let me go into the deck, then I'll talk about my choices and tell you guys how, you know, I feel like the deck should be ran right now, even though this is a preliminary deck. 3 Shura, 3 Bora, 3 Kalute, 3 Sirocco, 1 Gale, Zephyros, Dark Arm Dragon, and 2 copies of Thunder King. We've got 3 Forbidden Lance, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Pot of Duality. We have the theme cards, Allure of Darkness, and Black Whirlwind. And then we have the Trinity, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn. For the traps, we've got 3 Icarus Attack, 2 Skill Drain, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Torrential Tribute, the Solemn Twins, Warning and Judgment, and then Starlight Road. All right, so first you guys might notice the Thunder Kings. I feel like the Thunder Kings are just a good, solid open in case you don't open with, you know, a card like Black Whirlwind, in case you don't open with Shura. You know, obviously you can't play Sirocco turn 1. Like, Thunder King is just a good, solid card where you can set Thunder King and a Bottomless and feel comfortable against most of the decks in the format. You know, I maxed out on Forbidden Lances. Here's the reason why I did that. You know, it might seem a little risky, but here, with Solemn Warning currently at 1, I feel like a lot more summons are going to get through, and I feel like a lot of summons are going to get answered with Bottomless Trap Hole and Torrential Tribute. Like, I feel like those are going to be the absolute, if so de facto, power cards for answering summons, especially normal summons of just mid-level beaters, you know, 1800 and stuff like that. I feel like not only does Forbidden Lance protect my monsters, but it adds another level of when I get a Shura on board with Skill Drain, you know, I should be winning the game. And if you try and attack over it, you know, either I'm going to Kalute you or I'm going to Forbidden Lance you. You know, I'm going to keep my 17, 18, 2000 beater on the field and just win the game like that. Icarus Attack is a card I feel like should be maxed out right now. Like, for the same reason that I'm running 3 copies of Lance. You know, Icarus Attack is the card that's going to, like, make this fucking deck good right now. You know, every single turn that you summon a Shura, that you summon a Bora or a Sirocco, if your opponent, you know, tries to bottomless you, they try and torrential you, this is the card that lets you capitalize on their plays. Obviously, if your opponent blind MSTs it, you can punish them. If your opponent tries to pop it with, you know, like a heavy infantry, or they try and use bear or something like that, you can chain. This is a card that allows you to go plus, but in this format, there should be less times, or it should be a lot less likely for you to summon a monster, it get warning, and then you just be sitting on a dead Icarus. Like, Icarus is the card that's going to let you fight through Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, Deep Prison, all the fucking normal traps that we see in this format. And I just feel like it's definitely a good card right now. Skill Drain is in here because I feel like Skill Drain can make a comeback right now. With Atlantean players dropping Undying, oh my goodness. Skill Drain is so fucking good. You know, you can still use Thunder King with Skill Drain. You can put it in your hand from Zephyros, so there's like a little nice combo right there. And once you get a Sirocco on the field, I mean, Sirocco plus Skill Drain, like, Mermail Atlantean players are going to fucking struggle to get over that, especially if you have a Kalut to back that up. I mean, if you get Skill Drain, it really renders the Fire Fist deck moot because all their fucking monsters are like 17 to 19, which we can pretty much just outdo them with Kalut and Forbidden Lances. You know what I mean? They don't really have anything on that. They can't use their effects to blow shit up. I feel like with players dropping Undying, I just feel like that Skill Drain is just going to be a much more viable card. Now, there are two cards here that you guys should notice that I'm not running, or excuse me. These are two cards. My current deck is 40 cards, and these are the two, you know, cards that I'm possibly thinking of adding. I want to add one more card to this deck. I've just, personal preference, I always feel like 41 is the magic number. Every time I top regionals, it's 41 cards. Book of Moon is just, it's another play disrupting card. I'm not sure how necessary it is with me running, you know, 2 Torrentials and 3 Icarus attack already. So, you know, Book of Moon I feel like is a viable option in most stun decks. And then Pot of Avarice. The reasoning behind Pot of Avarice is I feel like if you're playing Skill Drain, you know you're not going to be blowing your opponent's monsters up with your monsters. So, you know, Kalut is going to hit the graveyard very often to protect our monsters. You know, I feel like if you hit Whirlwind, you're going to be burning through monsters. Icarus attack during the end phase, load your graveyard up. So I feel like, you know, maybe about turn 4 or so, this card should be pretty much live, but I'm just not certain. I feel like both of these cards have advantages, and the only way I'm going to be removing monsters is with Dark Arm or Allure, and if I have Dark Arm on the field, I mean, how the fuck did I lose that game? Like, having a dead Avarice is not going to matter. And excuse me, these are the 3 cards that I'm not running. I'm not running Mirror Force because with 3 Kaluts and 3 Lances, there's no way in hell I should need to play that much defense. You know, Kalut and Lance can both be used offensively. Mirror Force requires my opponent to attack. You know, if they got through a Kalut, a Icarus attack, a Torrential, Bottomless, all of that shit, a Solemn Warning, then you deserve it. Blizzard is just, it's not even because I'm running Skill Drains, because, you know, way back when I played Black Wings with 2 Skill Drains, I actually got 9th at regionals. That was gay, but anyways, I feel like there's nothing to make because, you know, this fucking bastard didn't come back, $8.50 wasted. Because there are no good level 6 and 5 synchros, I mean, outside of like fucking Catastor, I just don't really see a reason. And then value with Black Whirlwind at 1, I don't think that this card is really that good. I mean, you can't rely on you getting the Shura effect off to summon this card. You never ever want to search it. Like when Whirlwind was at, you know, 2 and 3, you could go summon Blizzard while under Whirlwind and you could search this guy, make Brio, pitch it, and then go like nuts. But, you know, with no Brio, with Whirlwind at 1, with a Shura that's not guaranteed because we went Skill Drain at 2 in the deck, I just don't feel like value really adds anything to the deck, and we wouldn't ever want to draw this shit unless we have Allure. So thank you guys for watching as always. Let me know what you guys think of Black Wings in this format. If you want me to debate the whole Blackwing versus Wind-Up issue that I just, you know, stated my case for, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe.